Listen, if we enter slash ap slash employee slash all, this method is executed, which gets the data in the form of list of employee converted to JSON format. Look at. If you look at last session diagram here, if you look at front-end and back-end application, are you able to listen my voice? Are you able to listen my voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now here in the back-end application, we have employee rest controller find all method. This find all method will make the call to database, which gets the data into list of employee that returns into JSON format because of response body annotation. You need not to apply this annotation. When you write @rest controller, internally there will be response. Okay. Remember? When you apply this one, internally it will apply response body that will convert the data into JSON format. Okay. You can just see I started this application and enter this URL in the browser. You can enter in the Postman screen or in the browser also. It's a get location. So it's a empty array. It's a empty array. Fine. Now in the front end application, what we have to do? Okay. First model class. It's already done only one time. Second service. Third component TS is TypeScript. Okay. You can see in the front end applications, yeah, of course, you create a record, then you can see the data. So it's a empty JSON. You just insert some data through backend or front end. You get some data. Now you can see some data. Okay, if database contains data, then you can see here. Otherwise, it won't display. Now, what I'm just doing here, first look at the model. So write public variables. If you remove the public or if you write private, they cannot access. Okay, this is one-time setup. We don't write this class again and again. Second, service class. In the service class, already we wrote fetch all employees HTTP get method, which will store observable of employee array. You can see service class. We have to define a service. HTTP get we can make observable of employee array. It is also done. Okay, in the service class, whatever the content I wrote, I'm just giving this only one time. In the component TS class, there is a separate component created to display all the records. Previously we used register, now I'm using all. Okay, I expand all here. Okay, open employee all component class. Step number 1, dependency injection for service. Step number 2, you have to store the data in the form of array, local array. I'm just creating here. Yeah, it is actually empty initialization. Now here, of course, we can write even not symbol or undefined. Lot of ways are there. You can write whatever you want. Okay. Now I'm just writing a method here. Okay, there's actually here. Fetch all employees. Here I'm just making a service call. Okay, I'm just calling a method called subscribe. Okay. So here, on success, on error. Okay. It may showing deprecated. I'll show how to write in the latest format. But you follow this one only because lot of applications are working with the same syntax. This is the latest modification only. Okay. So here you work on this one. I'll show callback methods. This logic we have to write in a separate method. That function we have to call here. Temporarily let this be. This data I want to display. I'm just creating a message. No, message not required. Later, if it perform delete operation like this, we required. This implies data. print it like this. We can look at step number 1, define model class. Step number 2, service call is made. That's actually executing the network here, getting the data and stored in observable array representation. It's observable memory that's storing employee array. Okay, next step we can see in the component class. Okay, define array variable. Okay, do dependency injection. Okay, fetch data. Okay, ng on init. Ng on init is a lifecycle method. Whenever this component is loaded, we have to call this method. So I'm just writing here this dot fetch all inputs. Okay, when this component will be loaded, when you enter a URL, that is routing, you can see when you enter a URL something like a list, this component is called. Yeah, subscribe is deprecating the latest versions. Older versions are still working with the same syntax. Okay, I'll show the latest version later. Okay, majority of the companies are still using same syntax. The recent versions only is deprecated. Okay, I'll show the new model. Just this logic we have to write a separate method. Let this be same syntax only. Okay. Now finally, the component is what we have done. Inside the class, I'm just writing A, B, C, D. Define variable, dependency injection, define the method, call in lifecycle method. Now in the component, what we are going to do, we have to print the data in the form of table. This type HTML file. I'm just deleting here. There, I'm just writing heading 3, all employees data. I'm writing like this. There I'm creating one table, tr. Okay, th table heading. Okay, what we have to display, ID, name, salary, department, gender, department address. Like this I write. Now look at here, we have to write for loop. You know Java for loop? We have some list of types. Okay, some list here we have. Then we used to write for t, ob. Ob is a temporary variable of type. It's a core Java. In the same way, in TypeScript Angular here, we used to write here star ng for. Ng means Angular. Okay, there we have to write let ob or temporary variable. Okay, temporary variable of collection name list. Like this we have to write. Okay, let temporary variable name of array or collection name. Like this we have to write. Like this. There I'm writing here tr. Look at ng for let emp of, look at the name, what you wrote inside the component class, same name we have to take. Do you remember? In case of WebMVC, we use model memory. Okay, just I'm giving a question, it's out of the scope. How can we send data from controller to UI in Spring WebMVC? Okay, answer, using model interface and method add attribute. You remember keys comma value. Read data at UI using $key. Yeah, binding our model map, anything is fine. Same question. How can we send the data from component class to template HTML in Angular? Answer, no need to use any specific object, just to define them inside a class and access directly inside HTML. See, if we just define the variable here, sufficient. Are you defining, see, inside the class, are you defining the variable? Any variable you define, directly can access here. Okay. Why I just given above question, just for clarity. Whatever the memory if we add to model, that you can access in the UI. But here not like that. Whatever you declare here, whatever you declare inside the class, component class, whatever you declared inside the component, those are accessible in this HTML file. Template you are able to see in this file, only in this file. Okay, you can access. That's why I'm directly able to access. No need to send separately by using model memory. Okay, I feel this is better. Okay, compared to our Java technology, it's even better. Now I'm writing TD. Okay, print the data. In case of theme leaf, key, right? Syntax. This is syntax. Okay, no need to mention separate key. Directly can access the variable. Okay, if you look at here, variable name is emp. I'm just writing emp.empid. Like this. You can see here, we are just printing the data by using for each loop. Let temporary variable of collection name or array name. This is what I wrote in the HTML. Okay, I'm just adding CSS designing part. some color designing. Okay, now I'm running this application. Some people running from here. The server command required to be run in an Angular project. Did you get error like this? Why? We have to go to inside this project name, cd project name. It should be inside the project. Otherwise, you will get the same error. Then you have to type the command ngser. Okay, you are out of this project name. You cannot execute the command. It will open the browser automatically. Enter the 4233 URL. It's not going to do it. List is not. I am trying to insert a record here. Okay. David dev employee to create it view all add Syed QA indeed add Ajay as a BA. See, when you click on view all, see what is happening. F12 I'm pressing. F12. Okay, click on source. It's not loading source. Oh, network it is making. I want to show debugging. Yeah, it is coming here. Why not in Chrome? Yeah, I just press Control P even. By default, it has to come without even pressing this. Yeah, this is hidden. No, this is by mistake here. Okay, fine. See, When you click on view all, what is happening? I'm showing here F12 webpack dot src app all ts line number 24. I clicked, blue color line is created, right? That is called breakpoint debugger in the service. Okay, all employees are there. Here also I just kept, come to backend application, stop this one. Here also right click, debug as debug Spring Boot application. In the REST controller, just double click on this line. Okay. Now look at, I'm just coming to here. First I'll try to insert add David salary. Okay, when you click on view all, see, when you execute the list, okay, view all, first it is actually going to routing. From there, okay, it is actually going to app routing. App routing. They're executing list, calling employee all component. In the employee all component, ng on init is loaded. This is calling fetch all employees and executing this one, you can see. Look at the file name, employee all component ts. Okay, go to next line. You can see here, this actually F10, it is actually going to service. Then it is going to service. Okay, in the service, it is actually calling get function call. Okay, when you execute this one, okay, when you execute this one, it is coming to backend. Okay. Don't worry, this code you cannot see in every machine. Only developer machine you can see this. I have code in my system, right? That's why you are able to see here. Okay. In the build file that is actually going to be loaded in real-time servers, you cannot see this. Only in the developer machine. Request came to REST control. Find all employees are there. F6. F6. One record is there. Finish this execution. It will come back here, displaying the data. Same workflow here. Okay. I'll share the complete code after performing delete operation. Okay, I'll create a git link. Today, we'll just work on the temporary one. Let this be. Once it is done here, I'm just giving the workflow. This is a workflow. Same diagram I just gave as a code. Okay, as a note. Tomorrow I'll show delete operation and fetching the data continuation with C. Thank you for session. We'll continue in the tomorrow's class. Yeah, we have 9 p.m. session today. Join at 9 p.m. every day. Today we have 9 p.m. session.